So before I learned about the Talmud and the fact that Talmudic Jews are the reason that all Jews have been evicted from over 109 countries over the centuries, before that, when I grew up in Christian fundamentalism and we got to the parts in the Bible where Jesus is going off at the Pharisees and he's calling them, you brood of vipers, you children of the devil, you were a murderer from the beginning, you bag of dead men's bones. Right? Our pastors would say that Jesus is going so off at the Pharisees because they follow the law. They follow Mosaic law. Like in Torah observing Judaism without the Talmud, the Zohar, and literally the psychopathy, just normal old school Judaism, that's just a lot of rules of how to be moral. So it's a very Saturnian way of being spiritual. You have to follow rules and do certain things in order to be godly, right? And in the Christian theology context, it's like, well, Jesus comes and gives the teaching of grace and mercy, and that you're no longer under the law, the rules. The rules are off you. You live under grace. You live under mercy. You don't have to be perfect, right? So they said that the Pharisees were men that lived under the rules, the law, put a lot of pressure on themselves to be holy, pressure on other people to be holy, right? Which is what a lot of Christian pastors do anyways. They don't even live according to grace. But I was always like, wow, Jesus needs to calm down then. Relax, JC, okay? All these dudes like living under rules and putting all this pressure on themselves and their communities, but like calling them children of the devil, that's a little much, Jesus. That's a little much. Chill out. I mean, you want them to live under grace, but you're going ballistic at them, calling them like murderers from the beginning. See, now that I understand that the Talmud exists and it's been around since before the time of Jesus, and it's quite literally a plot to undermine and destroy European Western races and Christianity. The Talmud hates Christianity, hates it. Talmudic Jews hate Christians. However, the book also tells them to be duplicitous. So they often enter into those spaces in order to infiltrate it, like CIA. Where do you think duplicity comes from? These organizations like the CIA of duplicity, right? They infiltrate these spaces in order to undermine them from the inside and make you think they're with you, right? So we know now that most of fundamentalist Christianity is Zionist Christianity, because idiotic Christians have no idea that the Talmud exists. And the actual plot going on here is to undermine Western nations, European races, and Christian races. That's what's going on here, right? And they've also been sacrificing children and raping children because the Talmud actually says they can do that. It says they can do that to children under 9 or a child under 3, okay? And it also says that all non-Jews are animals. And through deception and duplicity and pretending you're a Christian, pretending you're a Muslim, the whole Saudi Arabian monarch are literally duplicitous Jews. We all know that. Lots of people at play are playing in positions of being a Christian or a Muslim or these things, but it's actually a Talmudic Jew because their book tells them to take on the personas and ideologies and religions of other people in order to undermine it and twist it from within. That's how we've arrived at a place where most of the world's Christians support an insane entity like Israel, but they don't even know that the Talmud exists. They don't even know that they're being played from the inside. So that's what Jesus was talking about. Jesus was livid at actual psychopaths. That's who the Pharisees are. They're not a bunch of guys following Mosaic law. That's the Sadducees, right? That's just old school Judaism. That's old school Judaism, just Torah observing the rules. That's old school Judaism. Today we're dealing with Talmudic Judaism, right? That's Pharisaical Judaism because it's got this ideology of hate from within, but posing as your friend. That's why he was calling them children of the devil the whole time. The whole time. Not because they liked rules, but because they genuinely were murdering children, babies, raping children and babies, and killing other races. That's why.